Hey everybody, it's Lynn from Subpar Planning. I know this is not a planner video. However, it is a planter related planter. It's a planner related video, in which case I am using the mini happy or the classic happy planner style for my knitting book, which I've been kind of working on off and on. It's just one of those things, like I don't really work on it unless it's kind of yucky out or I don't have something else to do. So it's been kind of taking me a while, but I finally feel like I'm at that point now where I can kind of show it off, even though it's never really done. So anyways, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn. This is Subpar Planning. This is a channel that's more devoted to planners, but sometimes what I'll do is I'll take things and I'll use the happy planner style to make like travel journals or junk journals or whatever. So I kind of branch it off from there, from just that into not just planning. So I thought I'd do a quick flip through and show this off and kind of talk about why I'm doing this and how it's kind of actually helped me become a more organized knitter. I don't know how to crochet yet. I would like to take a class at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. But anyways, so this is a classic happy planner size. And what I did was I just took the Miss Maker sticker book. And the other thing I'm trying to do is, because I am on a planner no spend, now that's just planner or planner related items, that doesn't include everything else. Like last year in January, I tried to do a no spend. So I basically I wouldn't allow myself to buy anything that wasn't directly related to feeding, clothing, or caring for myself or my family. So, everything that was off limits were like bags, shoes, unnecessary clothing, planner stuff, crafts stuff. I only used and bought what was needed. So food, gas, oil for heat, anything that was required of school, not like extra stuff, things like that. I managed to last about 84 days. And so I'm impressed. I'm impressed with myself that I was able to last as long as I did. However, it was still really difficult. This time, I have decided to just put the kibosh on all planner related items, and I think that has made a huge difference. I feel like I've kind of got my act together. I feel the temptation, but I do not go to craft stores. I do not go to Joann's, Michael's Hobby. I don't go to any of those stores. I feel that not going makes things a lot easier for me. And I've been I've been more low-key on like Instagram, because every time I go into Instagram, I see all these beautiful spreads and all these beautiful things, and it just makes me want them. So I will post some stuff. I'll look through really quick, but I try not to do it all the time, because the temptation to want to run out and get whatever is been released or whatever people are showing off is just way too great for me. And I am trying to practice some self-control. So anyways, this is my planner, my knitting planner, or my knitting journal, or my knitting instruction book, however you want to call it. And like I said, this is the classic size. I took stickers from the Miss Maker, and I just kind of did a diagonal line, and just kind of filled it in with all the different things that I like to do. Like I like to knit, I like to sew, I like to take pictures. So then on the back side, what I did was I left it completely blank, and all I did was I got a sticker and I put Miss Maker just kind of on the bottom. I thought that would be kind of fun. So anyways, that's the planner cover, and all I did was, because the planner paper was white on the back side, I just took some distress ink and just kind of colored in it a little bit, and then I laminated it in my laminator. I found these as I was shopping through my stash. I found these, so I thought that these would be fun to use to mark down pages that were kind of interesting to me, or maybe some ideas. Like if I'm seeing a pattern that I really like, what I can do is I can write down like maybe the type of yarn that I'm thinking, or if there's something in the back of my mind in my knitting stash that I can remember or know about, I can mark it down to say that, to do that. I put one of the Miss Maker envelopes in here just for extra patterns or anything that might come up. And then what I used was, there's a Dreamseeker notebook that I bought a couple weeks ago before my no spend, and the cover was punched backwards. So I took the guts of it, as you can see, I took the guts of it and I kind of just flipped it. So I have these dividers to help me with pattern planning or to mark. I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet, but I do have them there when I need them. And so then all I did was, I haven't decorated these pages yet. This is just kind of like a rough idea of what I'm going to do. So this is my circular needles pages. So at least now when I go through this, I'll know what I have. Crochet hooks, what I have. Double pointed needles, what I have. Knitting accessories, what I have. If there's something that's doubles, I just put ×2. And again, these pages are just a rough draft. They're not decorated or ready to go. And then my knitting needles and what I have. And then I found these pages on clearance a couple, like I said, all before the new year. I've been trying to work on this thing since I think like November. So I thought this would be a great way to make lists. So I added that in here. And then I have another second divider, and I've got some more of this. And again, you can see the dividers backwards. And then I have more of these pages. And then I get into like the actual planning, the actual pattern part. So all I did was I took these planner pages. They're Planner Babe. It's the Planner Babe classic size pages. I just thought they were so cute because I just love this little pattern. I just think it's adorable. And so what I would do is I would just go online and I would print off free patterns. A lot of them from like Rivalry, or sometimes I'll go into like Lion Brand or whatever. And I will print them out in color. And usually I reduce the size to about like, I reduce the size anywhere between 90 to like 80%. And usually it's enough where I can still see what I'm reading, because I've noticed that when I tried to do it with the mini happy planner, it was too small. I had a hard time seeing it, and I don't need glasses. I don't wear glasses, and I'm still having a hard time. This is a lot easier for me to look at. And so what I did was I printed it on one side. So I pasted it down, and then I pasted the pattern down. And the nice thing was that the reason why I printed it in color, because it was an option for me to see the pattern a little bit more clearly. I think sometimes printing in black and white makes it a little difficult. Sorry about the sun. Let me see if I can tone that down a little bit. There, how's that? Is that a little bit better? So again, and so if the writing was too big, or I was going to end up cutting off the designer's name, I just cut out the piece of paper out, because I'd like to know who the person is that did it, because, you know, if somebody asks, I can be like, oh yeah, that was, you know, Jen Gigley, or this was, you know, this is a Patton's one. So that's why I kind of, I'm trying to make sure that the names are there so I can help people find them if they like them, or if they ask me about it. I'm using this half size classic size sheet, which, believe it or not, still has a plastic on it. Oh, this is gonna be satisfying. I thought that was kind of dull. So I'm going to use this to mark my pattern. I think it's just on one side. My pattern. And so I'm going to be actually working on this pattern right now. I'm going to start making that pretty soon. And then just kind of keep going through. And right now I just have like scarves. This is this scarf here. And again, because the pattern basically printed out on one sheet of paper, and then this is an extra, I just decided to put this down here, and at least now I know that's what the pattern looks like. Same thing with this one, had to do the same thing. And so what I did was I just cut everything out and I just pasted it. It's kind of like a collage for the patterns. And then I'm starting with my blankets, and then I'm just going to keep going through, and as long as this paper is available, I'll just keep buying it, and I'll just keep adding to it. And the thing is because this is on the classic size rings, I have tons of space. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't add pockets to the back of this, and I don't really feel like I necessarily need it per se. So yeah, that is my knitting pattern book. And it'll be a lot. I think it's going to work out really well for me. It's classic size. It fits in my planner bag really great. I feel like I have tons of opportunity to write things down, or ideas, or if I see something on TV, or if I see something online, I'm like, oof, I'm going to try to find a pattern that's similar to that. I can just write it down. I have tons of note paper. And then I'll probably just take some stickers and just kind of decorate that a little bit. But I like how I have these tabs, because I can use them for something, and I can use them to differentiate between maybe scarves or blankets or baby items, or like, you know, adults or whatever. So at least I have that. I will actually be making this pattern as well. I'm super excited. And I'm going to use the yarn that I bought when I was in Iceland. I have actually 4 skeins of this. This is 2 of them. And this is the color. It's this beautiful, like little orangey kind of just just a luscious little orange. And this is Icelandic wool. And I bought this while I was on my trip. So I'll be making this pattern with this wool, and I'm super excited, but I need to finish up what I started, which actually hasn't gone very far. And so then I figured I'll show you what's in my knitting book. This is the Knit Simple Fall 2019. I think I have the winter one downstairs because I was looking at it. But what I have in here is just some like super basic stuff. I have, you know, this is all of my knitting stuff. This is all of my knitting accessories. This is a bag that I got when I was in Seattle, and it's perfect because it holds all of my knitting junk, my counters, my measuring tapes, my scissors, my more counters, my cable needles and things like that. So that holds that. And then I have the yarn that I'm going to be making. I literally just started this like 2 days ago. Having, you know, 2 jobs right now and then taking 2 classes has really kind of cut into my planner time. It's cut into my craft time, and I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. And then that's just the other skein that I'm going to use. I just try to keep everything in bags to keep them clean. But then literally this is what I do. I just take all this stuff and I can just slide it right in. This little bag is Crocheting Supplies. So it's kind of fun because it's 2 different, it's 1 pouch, but it's 2 different separate compartments. So this side has needles, and then this side has all of the crochet supplies that I have, which is not very much because I'm definitely more of a knitter. So I just pop that in here. This bag is from Hobby Lobby. I got it with a coupon. It's super adorable. It's like little llamas. So, and it's in there. It's actually in their knitting department. But you could totally use this as a planner bag if you want. The problem with this as a planner bag though is it's not very sturdy. It's kind of floppy. So, and then I just have this, which is my knitting answer book. So this actually works out really well for me because if I ever have a problem with something, I can look it up in the book. Or if I have a computer or phone nearby, I can always go online to like look it up on YouTube. YouTube's a great place to like learn knitting stitches that you might not be familiar with, or knitting stitches that you've never seen before, or just kind of teach yourself how to knit. I mean, it's actually pretty cool. So that's basically it in a nutshell. And like I said, I just kind of keep everything in here, and it's nice because I can just kind of take this with me wherever I go if there's someplace that I'm heading to. And yeah, so boom, boom, boom. There you go. So I hope this video finds you happy and healthy. I hope everything's going well where you are. It's super cold here, and it's chilly, and there's ice everywhere. But it's alright because the sun's shining, and it's going to hopefully melt a little bit today. So anyways, I hope this video finds you happy and healthy. And remember, pointing right at you, you are loved, you are wanted, and you deserve to be here. And don't ever let anybody tell you anything different. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Deuces.